rewind 1999, where it all started. And then, I mean, the craziest thing is like 16 years on is seeing that song now feel so kind of current with the times of what's going on with the grime scene and everything. So, yeah, been an amazing journey.
And that's what's happened to you in a funny sort of way. You're only 35, but you're being treated like an elder statesman of the scene.
Do you know what? I'm all good with it, because I think the wisdom and the maturity I've gained over the years, stepping out in front of crowds right now. I mean, it's been highs and lows in my career.
Yeah.
But to have that moment to step out in front of the O2 like we did the last 2 nights, in front of 17,000 people going crazy, I was so grateful. It's amazing.
I know a lot of people like you don't really look at the reviews, but I've had a look, and they are universally rave reviews. I mean, just saying, because you split the show in 2, you sing like we'd expect a singer-songwriter to perform to begin with, and then, well, you get rid of the band, and it's you on your own, and you're remixing and doing something quite different. So, I mean, we don't hear about that kind of thing much.
Yeah, I mean, I brought back in the element. I used to DJ before I released the first album, Born to Do It. I was on my Technics 1210s with my vinyl. And that never carried on into me going from club shows with Rewind into arenas. And the first arena I did was like 3 nights at Wembley Arena. So, and I'm back there on April 9th, which is going to be the last show of the tour. So having those 2 elements of the show has allowed me to just really show everything that I can do now.
Yeah.
And the TS5 part is me just freestyling and vibing, and the crowd turn the whole thing into a club from a band show. It's amazing.
You couldn't do that unless you're an extremely talented musician, and you couldn't get away with it if you didn't have a really good voice. And one of these reviews is comparing you very favourably to George Michael, saying, perhaps apart from him, you have the greatest R&B voice that we have in Britain.
I mean, it's a huge compliment. I mean, George Michael had one of the most incredible voices, and I was only listening to some of his songs before I actually went on stage yesterday. So when I saw the reviews and I saw that one in particular, I was just like, I'm so grateful for a compliment like that. Do you know what? I love music. I'm so grateful for my fans who've been with me since the start, the new generation who've just discovered me from the new album, Follow My Intuition, that I released last year.
Yeah, it went to #1.
Which went to #1, which again, it felt very cyclical. The first album, Born to Do It, #1, arena tour. 16 years later, Follow My Intuition, #1, arena tour. It's so much sweeter this time around, though.
Sweeter, maybe because you had the downs in between. I mean, you were out of the way for a while. You moved to Florida. You had a different record deal that took you in a direction you weren't perhaps necessarily happy with. So, does that make it feel all the better to be back living in the UK now and selling out stadiums?
Yeah, I wanted to live the dream and go to Miami, and I'm a kid from Southampton, aspiring to kind of like drive a Ferrari maybe once, and to have had that moment of experiencing that.
You had the Ferraris.
Do you know what? It was incredible, and as much as people will say, I don't understand why you don't love. I was so far away from my friends and family. It was great for a holiday, but it wasn't a place to live. And as soon as I came back a year and a half ago, my life changed, and I saw all this love and support over the years from my fans, and I was just like, I just need to get back to the music. 3 minutes can change my life, and I live music, so this whole moment that's happening is really wonderful right now.
I want to ask you, because the tour is by and large a sellout. You've released a couple of big dates to compensate for that, but later in the year you're playing a huge homecoming show back in Southampton, and of course tickets are going to be really popular for that. There's a big debate at the moment about these people reselling tickets for sold-out gigs when they're really popular for artists like you. How do you feel about those sort of third-party companies getting in on the act and putting up the prices?
I mean, I think it's completely wrong. I mean, it frustrates me deeply because I want to go out there and perform, and I know people are paying incredibly high amounts of money for different tickets all over the place at just the standard rate. When they're then inflated like 200, 300%, it's so wrong, because it's forcing out all the amazing shows that are going on for these kind of, the way they've got the bots all lined up, and it's something the government obviously need to really kind of like stamp down on. But as an artist, the most frustrating thing is seeing people losing out, my fans losing out. Yeah, I mean, I'm doing the Rose Bowl, the Hampshire Cricket Club, Friday the 1st of September, knowing that there's going to be thousands of tickets that will go out straight away to secondary market. It's wrong.
Good luck with it.